So I see guys all the time on Twitter and on Instagram doing different things in the recruiting process, and I wanted that. I wanted to see what I could do to be in that group, to push something different for them to see, to stand out, not just be the, like you said, the hi, my name is Payne Kent.
Payne Kent.
Payne Kent.
Payne Kent.
This is a recruiting podcast with Payne Kent, a 2027 graduate from St. Louis, Missouri.
This isn't just another email. It's not a tweet, a highlight reel, or a cold message. It's a conversation, direct, real, and built for the college coach. This is Payne Kent.
And this is a Rawlings Tigers recruiting podcast episode.
What's up?
Not much. Just kind of.
All right, so I want to start this conversation. So give you props for doing this, because a lot of high school players want to do this, but they don't know how to do it, or they're too nervous to do it. And I think this is a unique approach because it's a different way of doing recruiting. So like, this is not like we're doing a podcast format, but it's more of like a recruiting style video where it's not like, hi, my name is Payne.
Yeah, I see all those all the time on Twitter.
We didn't want that. We wanted to be like more natural conversation. And it's a chance for whoever watches this, who potentially a college coach, but obviously your peers are going to be watching this.
Right.
But get to know who you are. And I just think it's a really good format. So like, first off, like, why did you think about it in this way? Because you approached me on this. I didn't approach you on this. So like, give me a background of like what your thought process is on this type of format.
So I see guys all the time on Twitter and on Instagram doing different things in the recruiting process, and I wanted that. I wanted to see what I could do to be in that group, to push something different for them to see, to stand out, not just be the, like you said, the hi, my name is Payne Kent. And
please select me for your university. Yes. It's funny because I did those. I was one of those guys, because like back in the early 2000s and everything like that, like that's what everyone did. Yeah. So hopefully like this triggers more players to do this, because I think it's a really brilliant format, because a lot of college coaches won't have the time to actually get to know you, and then when they have those and when they have those conversations on the phone with the player, it's not great. Like, it's very surfacey, because like you don't want to say something stupid.
Right. It's all very textbook and
like very political, or like if you don't know anything, just don't say anything. And like me and you have a pretty good relationship, so like it's pretty it's gonna be pretty loose, and they're actually gonna get to know who you are. So what positions do you play?
Primarily a first baseman. I pitch a lot too, and I'm working in third base and outfield right now.
So. And then left-handed bat.
Left-handed bat, right-handed thrower.
Yeah, right-handed thrower. Gotcha. And you are going to be a junior?
Going to be a junior, yeah.
Okay. And this is recorded on June 16th of 2025. What are you wanting to do in college from an educational standpoint? Do you know where you are with that?
Yeah, I wanted to get big into finance.
Okay,
I did.
Awesome.
I wanted to be a broker and try to explore that opportunity. So
you want to go Wall Street, or are you wanting to just be like a financial advisor?
I want to try the whole Wall Street thing.
Oh, nice.
And I want to probably get a finance and then statistics degree too, to kind of balance that stuff out.
That's good. So I was an econ major, and so like it was either that. It was either statistics and finance or econ and finance.
Exactly,
So I think that's a really good decision. Like, a lot of players don't do that. They don't challenge themselves and do something like.
Of course, I take a lot of pride in academics.
I mean, it's a breath of fresh air. Like John Spivey, I don't know if you saw that podcast with him.
I think so,
one of our alumni. He's at MIT and
saw that one.
I remember back when I was training him, it was very like he would come to training and then he'd go study.
Yeah, that's exactly how it is.
That's literally it is. And also, you were on debate team.
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Okay, so talk about that. I've never talked to someone that has been on debate team. I always find that stuff fascinating, because you see those movies, the debate movies that are out there, and you're like, man, I really would like to be a part of debate team. I really missed my shot when I was in high school. So like, talk about like debate team. Like, what got you into that?
I kind of wanted to try something different and try to figure out how to talk to people a lot more. And I think debate, it's it's not as exciting as it's like 6 hours at night, and then you're up at 6 o'clock the next morning, being there at 7. It's long. It's a long process, but I picked it up just to try to figure out how to talk to people and how to persuade people a little more, and I think it's really opened my eyes as a person, because I've had to view both sides of an argument and figure out how to see both perspectives of things, and I think that's helped me grow a lot as a person.
Yeah, like being able to steel man both sides is very hard. Yeah. Especially with your biases and everything like that.
It is.
So when you like get ready for a debate, what do you do at night? Like is it like they give you the subjects beforehand, or you have no idea what the subjects are?
We usually know about a month beforehand, and we usually write about 10 to 13 per side pages. So, and it's you get nervous, you do, because you have to wear your suit to school the next day.
Oh,
and
for sure.
Yeah, and you have to like press your suit, do all that. And
how do you keep that information in your head for like that specific event? Like I feel like that'd be so hard.
It's all online. It's all electronic. Like you can read off it.
Oh, you can read. So it's not like a test. It's not like a test where you have to like. Yeah. Okay.
I made the mistake of trying to be the guy that memorized everything the first time.
Yeah.
And it hurt me a little bit the first time, but I kind of got the hang of it over a couple rounds. So.
Yeah, because like if you have it memorized, you don't become natural. Like
it's
not.
It's all very robotic. And
and like you're stiff and you don't, because like persuasion's so funny because it's just like playing. Like when you're out on the field, like you have to persuade the coaches or your fans. Like, because I mean, in all honesty, baseball's entertainment. Like that's the whole point.
Selling the HBP a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're in the entertainment business. Like a lot of players don't realize that. Like selfishly you're playing a game, but in reality you're playing for the fans.
Yeah, you are.
So in debate, like I feel like being able to persuade somebody, you have to be very charismatic. You have to be able to know your tones, your pitches, and what words are going to hit and are trigger words that where the judge goes like, oh yeah, that was a good point.
Yeah, it's the same way with baseball. It kind of correlates. Like the only opinion that matters is the umpires. The only one that matters is the judge. It doesn't matter what the opposing team or the opposing debater is thinking. It only matters what that judge or that umpire thinks, and I think that kind of has helped me a little bit in a personal stance to figure that out. So
one of my coaches, I forgot when it was, but it was in the middle of the season. It was my summer coach, and I slid in, and the guy tagged me, and I thought I was completely safe. And I was like, "What did you think?" And I was like, "Well, you were out." I was like, "What do you mean I was out?" And I was like so offended. And he's like, "Well, the umpire called you out. You're out." Yeah. He's like, you didn't persuade him, so you're out.
Yeah, right.
So, cool. So you want to get into finance.
Yeah.
What type of colleges and universities are you looking into right now? Have you started that process? Is it something that you haven't got into yet? Where's your status on that? Because each person's in a different time frame. Like, don't think that this is like a got you question.
Right.
Like everyone thinks like, oh, I'm going to come up with something really quick. Like, no, I want to actually know and be honest with it. Like, where are you in that process? Have you done a lot of research? Have you not done a lot of research? Where are you at on that?
I have. I got a list of schools and a map in my room where I plug them in. And what I look for is I look for coaches that are personable, that I can talk to about things, and that's not just going to be transactional, that I'm going to be able to figure out, okay, can I go talk to this person if I have an issue outside of baseball too, and grow not just as a baseball player, but as a person there too. And I think at a school also I look for is, one, obviously finance programs are big for me, but also I do look at location a little bit, but it's not a huge factor. So
how are you trying to figure out like that coaching perspective? Like, are you looking up like YouTube videos of like interviews with that person? Are you looking up like what their stance is on the program, like kind of like the front facing, how the program kind of presents themselves on social media? Like, how are you kind of filtering that out?
I think YouTube has been big with me to look up interviews of those guys, because I like seeing them talk and seeing what I can observe just from a screen perspective. Like what can I see and how they talk, how they answer things, how do they respond, what do they look for is the biggest thing. What do they look for, what do they want, and can I fill that role for them, and can I be that for them?
That's smart, because there's very rare interviews on coaches, and then when you do see them, like usually they're typical like on ESPNU or It's after like a mid-season game. Obviously, College World Series, like those coaches are like
always.
They're always going to be really on fire because like they're on a high right now. But like seeing those mid-season conversations and be like, all right, what did that guy say? Like, is that guy
what's his mindset?
Yeah, how does he present himself? You know, like that you can tell a lot by just how they answer a specific question.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay, so high school season, spring. You're at Lafayette High School. How did the spring season go for you?
Good. I thought that I hit pretty well, and working in that first base spot was good when I got that opportunity, and just trying to fill the roles that they want me to fill. So.
And what are you currently working on right now this summer? Like, what is your big things that you're trying to accomplish this summer?
I'm trying to learn how to play a different position. Also, trying to figure out how to not pigeonhole myself into one kind of area. And also trying to a lot of it's bunting, trying to figure out how to bunt.
Oh, that's huge. Yeah, that's good. Because you're a bigger guy, so like being able to bunt is
they don't expect it.
Exactly, and you're left-handed, so crazy. My friend who was my roommate, he was a first baseman.
Really? Yeah.
And he was the best bunter I have ever known, and he was a huge dude. And he was known for hitting home runs. Like he was an All-American in junior college, and because he hit 15 home runs, he batted like 400. And then at Missouri State, Coach Gutton figured out he could bunt, and like he bunted all the time, all the time, and he would beat it out every single time.
That's amazing. Yeah. I just trying to find other ways to use my game and not trying to limit. Okay, you're just gonna. It doesn't even matter what. No, you have to pay attention to the coach's signs and all that, and be able to have that opportunity. If there's a man on second, if you need to bunt, you need to do it. Yeah. So not trying to limit your opportunities. So, what
type of player would you describe yourself as? I know that's a loaded question, but like,
can I use a player example?
Yeah. I always think that's good. Like, I don't think it's arrogant by any means, but I think it's just a way of being able to deliver a message. So, like, how would you compare your game to?
I always. Every time I watch guys and I look at guys, I always watch Mark Teixeira a lot.
Oh, oldie. Yeah.
Always those early 2000s, late early 2010s first basemen, like those Mauers, those Teixeiras, those Canercos, those guys like that. I really appreciated. So
yeah, they don't make those anymore.
No, they don't.
They're a interesting breed at that time. Like I didn't realize what we were looking at the time, because Albert would always overshadow them. Yeah. But like they were phenomenal human beings, and like how they approach the game and everything like that.
Just everything. I always want to be like them a lot, and I take a lot of my swing, a lot of how I approach the game in that kind of Teixeira Mauer way. I like that.
So 2 questions. One's going to be about success. One's going to be about failure. I always think it's good for coaches to know about failure, and when they ask the question on a phone call, they usually don't get a really good answer. Yeah. So first on, let's start with the easy one. Let's start about success. What's been the biggest success so far in your high school career that you could point to?
I think that
you've been like super proud about.
Like extremely, just 100% at the end of the day.
Like proud. Like it could be individual, it could be team, it could be whatever. It could be even like training standpoint.
I'd say after coming back after a couple arm injuries and topping 87 last weekend was pretty cool.
That's huge.
That was happy. I was happy about that because I hadn't pitched in a while and I was nervous about it, but I really, it was a big moment for me because I was there. It means that you weren't done. You weren't pigeonholed again.
Yeah.
You still had a ceiling there. There wasn't a finishing moment there. Yeah. And then offensively,
because like think about it, you had only one part of your game was eliminated for a long time.
Like, oh, you still have it. Yeah, you have it still, and that was big. And then offensively, I'd say, I think I got to go back to my freshman year when I was really proud. First high school game, I had walked it off, and that was pretty cool.
That's a big deal.
That was pretty cool, and I felt really proud in that moment. But back at it the next day, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's having a short memory, like being able to enjoy it, but then also having that short memory.
Of course, you enjoy it for that night. You enjoy it sometimes a little bit that morning, but you got Lindbergh or Vianney or any of those guys the next day. So,
I remember I kind of fell into that trap where I was like still on the high. Like I robbed a home run in pro ball, It was like the first big success that I ever had, like in pro ball. I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. And like everyone like loved me. And then the next day I went 0 for 3. And then no one liked me anymore.
Yeah.
It was a rude awakening call. So, all right, biggest failure you've had?
I had to go back to 2 weekends ago with we were playing the other clout team, and I had gotten the first 2 guys out on the mound and ended up loading the bases, and they got me.
You gotcha.
Yeah, they walked it they walked it off me. And I mean, that's a moment that you just got to organize your thoughts, and you can't get too low in the sense that you can't start going down that rabbit hole.
Yeah. I always think too, like if you're in that position, the coaches are putting you in that position for a reason. Yeah. So like you get to compete. Yeah. So like I know this is overplayed and overused, but I think it's so great. Like, do you know who made the most winning shots in the NBA? Like to date? Like what player in the NBA history has made the most winning shots?
Rick Barry.
No.
No.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Who's made the most, like the last shot and failed? Michael Jordan.
I was going to guess Michael Jordan.
It's Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
But like everyone remembers the big shot. Like they remember the Bulls and Pistons. They remember the Utah Jazz Game 7. Like everyone remembers those plays, but they don't remember like
Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah, Cleveland Cavaliers or whoever they're playing like during the middle of the year. Like it's cool because like you get to have that experience, and you're testing yourself. Like I always wished that when I was playing, I was put into those positions more. I only had a handful of those times.
Right.
And I kind of just, in my opinion, I pissed them away a little bit. But I wish I would have like gravitated more towards those.
Yeah, I think that after it's all done, like after I was in the car with my dad, he said, you shouldn't wish that anybody else was in that spot.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100% true.
I think offensively, when it comes to failures and all that, I think hitting's such a adapting thing. You don't, just because you get out doesn't mean you failed.
Yeah.
And yeah, you might not have gotten a hit, but you can hit the ball hard and get out. And yeah, is it a failure? Maybe a little bit, but not really.
Yeah.
But you got to always take it as it is. And okay, if you hit the ball hard off that guy and he just hit it right at a guy, okay, what's your adjustment next at bat? I remember, and I was so low at a point last tournament when we went to normal. We were facing a team. Guy made a diving play on a shortstop made a diving play.
Yeah.
And I thought I hit the ball pretty hard, and he got it. And then the next at bat, he makes a backhander that was really nice, throw on the run, that little. And I was really, really disappointed. But I kind of thought, okay, you're going to get another AB. You're going to get another opportunity. The next AB, you get in there against him. You're like, okay, if that shortstop's making that play that many times, learn and adapt from that.
Yeah.
And he throws you the cookie, and you mash it, and you ended up getting the go-ahead.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting the go-ahead there and winning the game for us. So that's big.
One thing I wish players did more, like there's only a select group of players I've seen, but like when a player makes a good play on somebody, they don't like tell that other player like, hey, you got me, good job. Like,
yeah,
they don't
100%.
like tip the cap.
Yeah.
Like you don't see tip the caps anymore. Like we saw it in the Tiger tournament last weekend. Like we saw a lot of that. But I like wish players would talk to other players more, like on other teams, in a more respectful manner.
I try to do that at first base.
It's
a lot.
huge, man. It's huge.
Just keep it light.
Yeah, be the mayor. You're the mayor of first base.
Obviously, there's a time to lock in or just kind of focus. But I mean, after Jack Yoder got that winning hit off me and kind of tipped my cap to him. I did.
100%.
Texted him good job after the game.
Yeah,
and he got me.
Like in college, because like I remember Wichita State had a really good relationship with his name is Gillespie, and his brother ended up playing in the big leagues. But I would always talk to him like at first base because and I probably was many people to him, but he was the mayor at first base. He would get to know everybody when they touch first base. So
yeah,
I
try to do that too. And figure that out and talk to the umpire. Ask him. My big one to go to is. How many games do you got today?
Yeah.
Just kind of open it up. How many games do you got today?
Yeah.
If it's a hot day, ask them something about the heat. Just keep it small, keep it light, and just try to get to know those guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
100%. What else are you into? Okay, so we got into the debate team. We got into you want to go into finance and stuff like that. Like, what is your hobbies outside of baseball?
This is where I get to be kind of a nerd a little bit.
hey, there's different types of people. I'm a nerd at heart anyway, so go for it.
I'm a big Lego guy.
Are you really?
Yeah.
No way.
I do the huge, big ones that I got on my shelf, and
so like you just love puzzles. That's what it is.
Yeah, more of a puzzle guy and all that.
That's cool, man. Yeah. That's really cool. Okay, so Legos. What else?
I got a shelf full of movies. I go to Barnes and Noble and buy the movies for $5. Movie DVDs and stuff like that for $5.
So you go classic. You're like an old heart. That's awesome. Yeah. So okay. So DVDs like what's your favorite genre of movies? Like what's your go-to movie?
Memento.
Oh, that is a good movie.
I kind of like the ones that make you think a little more, and that's kind of how I like to be able to think and while I'm watching a movie, not just sitting there and watching it. So
yeah. I like Inception. What's another one? Like, is it Tenet? Yeah, it's Tenet. Everyone hated the movie Tenet, but I loved it because it made you think things through, and you had to watch it multiple times to actually understand. Like, oh, that's what happened.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's really good. Any other movies that like stick out?
Not too much. I have so many
on
my shelf that I got like a bookshelf full of them. They're lined up, just packed together. I probably got to get a new shelf recently. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool. Anything else?
No, not too much.
Not too much. So movies, Legos, debate team, baseball. I think we've hit every question that I possibly could ask about from a recruiting standpoint. Yeah. What I guess another question would be like, what's your biggest attribute that you have as a player that you would say like, what's your thing that like you really pride yourself on?
I think my bat. I think my biggest thing is every approach is hit the ball hard somewhere.
Yeah.
And obviously you think about a drive at this side of the field or that side of the field, but I think my bat is huge. That's my biggest asset because I do hit the ball hard somewhere. More than I don't. Yeah. So.
And what's the biggest weakness that you have right now?
I got my jersey pretty dirty at practice the other day, so probably diving back on pickoffs.
So trying to learn how to actually get back on pickoffs and everything like that.
Yeah, instead of just coming up standing. I want to be honest about it. Just not coming back, standing in, coming back in a more diving sense. So that's probably my biggest weakness. And then bunting.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like a lot of players struggle with that. I've noticed that it's either innate into that person or it's not. Like I was a guy that always dove for everything. Like I was always trying to make a highlight reel play when it was not necessary. Like, did you see that play that Pete Armstrong made for the Cubs?
I think so.
Where he dove and he was not even close.
I remember that.
That was me. I was that guy. So like that guy is always going to dive for something. But then there's other guys that just don't have that like thought process. Like that's not their priority. I'm not going to dive. Like it's not there, right? You have to learn
come back in standing.
Yeah, you have to learn it, and like it comes. But
I'm trying to figure that out.
Yeah, so. I think that's just part of the deal for some players that it'll come. But like I was a guy that always got out of the way on a pitch that was being thrown in on me, and then I remember at Missouri State, like we had to run if we didn't get hit by a pitch, and it was in the area, so like it taught me how to do hit by pitches, and I ended up leading the team in hit by pitches at one point in the season. So it's like it's going to be taught at some point.
It's not a choice thing. It's just a thing that you want to incorporate. Yeah. It's not like I'm choosing not to dive back. Yeah. It's just something that you want to.
It's like putting that at your priorities here. Like you're thinking about another thing, and you're trying to put that priority above, and it just takes time to get that priority up.
Yeah,
so
still developing. So too.
What about I did have one more question. Yeah. Program standpoint, like what is it from? I know we talked about the coaches, but like from a program perspective, like what's your main priority for choosing a program?
I think success. I think success is a big thing in terms of what a program has done, but I also think that how long has that coach been there? Also, I do look at that. How long has a coach been there, and also what do their players say after they're done playing? Because you see that all the time. Like they talk about things on YouTube again, and what do they say about the program after they're done playing? What do they talk about? Is it a program that values power? Is it one that values the small ball stuff? I'd love to see that of what players think when they're done. So
yeah, That's one thing that says. So. Gavin Oswald said that in the alumni interview. He's like, that was like the biggest suggestion he made, and I never thought about it that way. Like he said, you need to talk to players. And I was like, oh, that's of course that's normal. He's like, no, you got to talk to the players that are on the way out. Right, because they have nothing to lose. Yeah, they're going to give you the full. They've been through it. Yeah, they're going to give you the full thing, and they're going to tell you exactly what that program's all about. So, cool, man. Payne, this has been awesome.
Thank you.
Hopefully that this hits. I think that this is a really brilliant idea.
I hope so.
I hope it does hit. And I do give you a lot of props because putting yourself out there in the spotlight is a big deal, and it's really hard for a lot of players to do that. Which is crazy because you're in the spotlight constantly when you're at bat or when you're throwing. But what's the difference between you just like talking? So but awesome. I hope this works out for you. And guys, if you are a player that is interested in doing something like this, what Payne did, send me an email, send me a DM. Spiker@rawlingstigers.com, and then if you want to email or DM us on the Rawlings Tigers account on Instagram, I check that constantly. So we'll catch you in the next one if we have one.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, cool.